Hi there again, guys. This is Tom Chassis from 802 Woodlands again. Here with another video. So today we're continuing the series that I started a while back on the log cabin. So today, the other day we peeled the log. Now we're actually notching the log to fit on top of the roof, which you'll see pretty soon. This is the first roof piece, and there'll be other project videos that will be completing this project in the future. So the first thing is, when you cut down these trees, they're a little too long for what I'm trying to do them for. And that side down there is a little bigger, so I'm gonna take that side off first. I'm gonna start from that side. What I'm gonna do, I just have a old tape measure here. The chainsaw ripped up. I'm just trying to keep these down here for this type of stuff. Another way you can do it too is put up there, if you know how the log is 10 feet long, come off there and you'll be done with it. But I'm just gonna measure it out because that's how I've been doing it forever. And yeah, let's get to it. We're not gonna worry about that. That's about 3 inches, or yeah, about 3 inches over. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna put that off one side a little farther. It might look a little weird, but overall should be fine. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lift it up. One thing with these, I don't know, if you're ever building a cabin, you don't get the idea of how much these logs weigh. They weigh a lot, and they could easily hurt you in a second. So one of the most safety is make sure you lift with your legs, not your back. I know a lot of people say that, but it's really important if you do, because it'll lessen the injury. And if you have another way to get it up there that's a lot safer, and you just kind of lift up the logs. I've been doing this for a year, so I've gained the strength to do it. But I still don't like doing it because it still strains a lot, and there's still a lot of chances for this to happen. So I'm just gonna change camera position. I'm gonna get you up there so you can see the view up there, and I'll see you back then, guys. So when you're lifting, as you see, we have 1 and 2 support beams here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one side of the log, I'm gonna prop it up here, I'm gonna get the other side of the log up there to get this thing started. I'm gonna roll it down this way so I don't have to lift it as much. So I'm gonna do the heavy side first, because that's the first side of all. If you can, you wanna scooch this over just like that. You come down here, and it might slip down, so I'm gonna push up that way. And there we go. There's our log up. So I propped up on that side, and I brought on this side. Since we have the log up now, we're bringing it back right to this level right here. The cabin, these woods. Hopefully don't get in the way. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark right here and right here on the other side of the log to know where the cuts will lie. And when you're putting this down, knowing how much you drop down on the log too is important, especially if you're doing this type of wall right here. Because if you go too far, then you have to kick out more log to put it in. If you go too less, you're gonna have to put a brick in, or a little section like right here. But with this, I'm just gonna make a floating area. We're gonna do a little vent area right here, because it's about a 4 to 5 inch drop that I have to do, and most of the log would be gone. The strength wouldn't be there, so yeah. So after you got everything lined up as the way you want, which I think I'm good. Okay, so this log's a little curved right here. So the outside's a little out, that's fine, nothing's wrong with that. And This should be fine, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do, then, find your marker. I like to use Sharpies. Different colors work too. That's fine. I'm just using red this time. And we're gonna mark the outside and this outside. So it's pretty much the width of what you're trying to do. And when you're cutting down with the saw and then you're gonna cut into it with the axe, you know how far to go on each side and how much depth you need to provide for this project. And when you get it up here, you can also adjust where the log is to make it better. My cabin's off a little on the tilter since the beginning, so it makes it a little harder for me. We're going to need another one. So another ruler here, just another tape measure. And we're going to measure 3 inches from that surface up to where you want to cut that off. So we're going to do, so you can see, we'll put this right here on the surface. We're going to say we want to take off that much. Right there. So, doesn't seem like my markers want to do anything here. Just kind of want to make it a line straight across, best you can. You're out in the woods, so remember that. It doesn't need to be exactly flat, it just needs to fit together enough because you're going to fill the holes with moss. So in the end, it's not going to really affect much in the sense of that. Then you're going to you're going to take this tree down. Cut your notches in it. You're gonna take the axe, you're gonna clean out that off, and then you're gonna put it back up, and we're on to the next step. So I don't want this to drop yet, so I'm just gonna lean it like this first. I wanna get one side down, and then the other side, to make it easier. Okay, with that done, we're gonna get the saw, we're gonna start cutting here. What we wanna do here is we wanna look for that mark you made. So my mark's right here and there. So my 2 outsides will be one right there and one right there. We're gonna cut down to the 2 lines. So the reason why we did 2, because if you did 1, you could also make that 2 sides rock back and forth, which is not great because then the log doesn't wanna sit flat as it should. So you put in 2 in front and 1 in back. It will stop that from happening as much as it would before. So I'm gonna use my buck saw here. You can use any saw you want. I used a folding saw, those red folding saws, that smaller one I had. A really good brand actually. One of the red ones, I'll get the name for it next video. Really good brand. That's why I started off the cabin with. If you're looking for a cheap saw, not really made for what you're doing here, but it does the job. Until I got this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut down that. So one thing about saws, especially the buck saw, you wanna make sure you keep that cut straight. Mine likes to twist and bend. So I think when I first used it, I was forcing it through, and I heated up the blade and it bent it. So I think that's why he does it. you go, there's one. And you need the last one on this side. Okay, there you go. There's one done. Okay. Sometimes, depends on what type of log you have. Sometimes like to roll away when you saw, so keep that in mind. We're gonna do the same thing. And that's done. What I want to do is get the axe, chunk that piece out. So I have a camp axe here. It's a 3.5 pound axe. You can get at like a hardware store or something like that very easily. It's sharp. With my other one. So what we're gonna do, I first want to set the log at this way, so you can get a point in the position and the dog wants less that way. So when you're axing or when you're taking the chunks out, it's easier for the log to stay in one position. When you're swinging the axe, want to make sure your feet spread apart. And in this case, we are trying to take this part out. So usually you'd go down straight. We're going down this way. So I make sure your foot, where you're swinging, won't hit. So if I do miss right here, it misses my foot. And it's a big safety tip there, because a lot of things when you're swinging an axe can happen that can cause a lot of injury. So yeah, we'll get the chopped out and we'll work on that one. Oh boy. Okay, this is no longer safe. I just lost. So it's very important to protect your equipment when you do this. You see the hole there is missing and that's missing. That is not good, because that's what holds the axe in. And I had no idea where that went. Well, okay. We're not done yet. I'm gonna grab the other axe in there. It's a little bigger and a little heftier, but we'll get the job done. And hopefully the same thing doesn't happen and I can place this axe for them. But we will see. Okay, now then, I want to switch sides, go over here, because this line's met. Now we need to meet the other line at that level. We'll give you a close-up soon. We're going to flip around, do the same thing on that one. Hopefully don't chunk off this area. That's why a smaller axe is better. Bigger axe does work. Important to know, but the smaller axe definitely does the job better because it doesn't have as much of momentum. So yeah. Stop. Do the same thing right here, and then put it back up. That's what we have. voila. Dropped right in. Looks perfect, actually. Yeah. So, important thing before you put a log down is you look at where your position is. You see, this is yeah, you can't see this, but it's a little farther forward, which I think will be fine. You also see this huge gap right here. I don't necessarily want that right there. That's not a great way to do the cabin. I thought it would be lower, but it's not, so it's great. Thank you for watching the video, guys. I know this video is going to be a little chopped up. I apologize for that if anybody is bothered by that. So with this hole and stuff like that and other stuff that'll be coming up, there'll be one more video, be drilling. I'll be using the AUG or the drill, whatever you want to call it, to drill holes in. I'm going to pin these in. I'm also using nails to put them in. And then we'll solve this issue with the space right here. And I'll do the second one on the video, just to kind of get the idea how to do this. Until next time, guys, please like and subscribe. And this is Thomas Chassis at 802 Windsor Craft.